Creativity is an addiction. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally uncut because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Whew, man. It's a life that feels like it's always on the run. The new day arrives and it's already been overtaken by other people's expectations. Of course, I had to do some research on this, and research shows there are multiple little things that we can all do to create less in our day. And look what's at number 2 on the list. Physically saying no. And I don't know about you, but that kind of serves as a fire starter. What do you mean no? Let me find a way. I'm going to say yes because I get off on saying yes. Other little things that create space include avoiding drama. How about this? Ignoring distractions and think before you do. These are all the little things that we can put into forward motion to slow down life. The expectation from other people's business. Get control of your life. A golden rule to live by is to begin a journey of settling for excellence and not perfection. Can you delegate? Maybe you should start doing that. What about admitting to yourself that if you're human, then act like a human and live like a human? There's a quote in a movie that's coming out. It's a DC movie. And in that quote, it says, stop living in your past and start living life. Not life on the run. Even the image in the mirror seems to be crowding my path. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. You take things like this and you just kind of listen to it. You slow things down by participating with, well, why did that thought even come to me? What am I going to teach from this? How can we grow beyond where we were on that Google Calendar? This is The Daily Mess. I remember sharing at a broadcasting lecture in 2012 that our broadcast industry was quickly changing. People kind of looked at me like I was weird, because I know I am, and they know that I'm really, really weird. But being an on-air talent would not be enough for the broadcast industry. This is what I was telling them in 2012. You're going to be expected to host daily or weekly off-the-air shows called podcasts. Now, I worked for the biggest company in America, and they told me in meetings, they said, we don't understand what you're doing or what you're talking about, but do us a favor and don't stop trying to locate this thing called podcasting. Well, last night, during a different lecture, 11 years after talking about podcasting for the very first time, I stood in front of those future broadcasters. They were telling me about what they wanted to do in the everyday world of broadcasting. They wanted to get in there, and they wanted to be sports announcers, and they wanted to be writers, and they wanted to be directors. And my question, and I don't know why it hit me in that moment, maybe it's because I've been thinking a lot about it, but I said, this group, you're the first one that's going to hear this, and you need to think about where you're growing. The reporting, the baseball announcing, the scores on the board, everything that you want to get into when it comes to being a communications specialist. The AIs aren't coming. They're here. They're here. Will we one day have that sports announcer that is an AI, that knows every single player's name, can spot their face anywhere in the crowd? The AIs aren't coming. They're here. So I stood in front of these future broadcasters last night and I said, here's the situation. You need to learn to work with the technology of AIs and try to get yourself into that sports world because they're here already. They're putting them to work. I talked with a fellow broadcaster last night and he said, you got to stop, dude. You got to stop. Because these AIs are just a fad. The government's going to come in, they're going to create new rules, and they're going to come in and change everything that you're saying. They are not going to take over baseball announcing or any other sport. Dude, calm down. I get it. We don't know what you're doing, but don't stop. We're in that situation again. The AIs aren't coming. They're here. And how are they going to affect your life as a listener? Will you be able to tell the difference? They're already making music with AIs. No musicians, It's the AIs. Prepare your world as we grow forward to participate with the technology of what the AIs are doing, or you'll be defeated and silenced by an AI. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.